Hi, welcome to another video on my Arduino Mega2560. Last time I managed to get most things working, and one of the things that don't work for some odd reason is this LED, because the motors work and all but one LED. So the question is, of course, why doesn't that LED work? Now all these LEDs, etc., are controlled by three outputs. They have separate outputs from the board, and that is in this case 2, 3 and 5. So they should more or less act the same. And this LED isn't doing anything. So the logical step is to do some measurement. And with the probes connected, it's logical to do a measurement. And with the voltmeter on maximum 20 volts, what do we have here? 3 volts. And here we have 0. And in the meantime the wires show to be very disconnected again, but bottom line is that here I measure nothing, here I measure nothing, while here almost nothing. So this is very wrong. 3 volts. Here I should be measuring, okay, that is not much, 1.5 volt. Would that be enough? Could be. How much I'm measuring here? This is not a logical value to measure, because this LED is clearly working. So this LED is working as well, coming from here. So yes, I suspect this multimeter to be not entirely correct. And I'm trying to get the measurement of it, but it fails. One thing I can do is changing the LED, which is easy enough. I pull it out and a proven LED goes in, which has to be like this. And then of course I have to hold it tight enough. Which is like this. Which kind of proves, unfortunately, that this LED wasn't right. And that solves another thing. So voltage correct, LED correct, and now all LEDs work. Time to think of something new. A new kind of experiment I'm going to do is similar to what I already have, in the sense that I will create another switch, which is then triggered by some kind of chain, and I will do that to interrupt such a motor. For this I will take an existing motor and the problem is that I don't have a chain anymore. Well, I do have one, but it is way too short to cover this between this gear, this one, and another gear. So I figured out I will do something like this. So this is the gear that will touch this gear, and a wheel that will guide something like this. In order to accomplish that, I will have to put this something such as this here, so here, combined with this idea. So this will touch the switch in a similar way as the other one does. So what is needed for that? Well, both parts, of course. 3 wires for the switch and the resistor. Now the first thing, and I will put out the voltage for now, because I don't want to get hurt or damage anything. First I want to make sure that this one fits, and fits nicely. And if you look closely, it does not touch, so I have to shift this one down. Now it kind of touches. No, it does not. So I have to carefully shift things in. And the problem is that this axis is quite flexible. So I really have to make sure that it is the way it is. This looks like nice, but I also have to make sure it stays on its place. So I'm putting a clamp here, and this is guided. So let me make sure. And it still is not correct. Okay, this looks like it. Then the other piece was supposed to get somewhere here. It's very close to each other, but then again the wheels are quite large. They are nicely aligned, and this works. So what I have to do now is make sure that the switch is connected and that I get a nice rope right along these wheels. So let's see first how the ropes will turn out to be. To connect two ropes together may sound easy, and I can replace this later on with a nylon cord which belongs to Visitechniek. The question now is how to connect these nicely. I can do it in two ways. Make it like this, but then I have a problem with the direction, and this looks very clumsy. But it may all work out very nicely if you don't screw up. And there you go. So this kind of this is a nice proof of work, by the way, because if you do it with nylon, which is much smoother, then it may turn out to be not possible with nylon. After all, I've had that before, and here once again I think I should use less force with this. Just experimental, of course, but then again, proof of work is usually accomplished with experiments. So this is one, and then somehow I should connect it with this over here, and this will not be, this looks easier than it is. And then we have the length which is something like this, tying a knot literally. And then I hope this kind of works. And now I see a problem. They are not the exact height. So does this work? Will this work? I can only find out by actually testing it. So first I will connect the motor to the power again, power it up and see what happens. So here goes the power. Let's put it here. Okay, and I can consider this idea a complete failure. It runs off the wheels completely. So then I need a better idea, obviously. but a bad construction as well, since the wheels are not exactly aligned when they are like this. It looks like, but they're not. And that's an oops. How to solve this? Not quite sure. This construction may work out or may not. I'm going to connect it anyway to the whole circuit, and in order to accomplish the whole working, I have put wires from ground and plus to here, so this is also usable. And what I have to do next is put the middle wire in such a way that it is connected to the ground via a resistor. So I have a resistor here, and it doesn't matter where I put it, so I will just put it right here and right here. Then the middle wire will be connected right there. That is one. Then the right wire will go straight, or that is in this case this wire will go straight to plus. This wire will be the signal, and I have not yet decided which pin of the board will actually be the signal. However, apart from that, I am going to connect the motor to the system again. Which is a whole lot difficult now there is so much connected to it. That's it. Now I will, and now this shows that although the motor works and quite nicely, the transmission does not. At least not the way it is supposed to do. So this is one big oops for now. This is a mess. I should have expected it with such short wires, but it is a bigger mess than I expected. So how to continue? Not quite sure, but I sure need longer wires for this one to reach over there, and I may just actually switch them to make sure that everything keeps working. And I think I'll just do that. So this one goes in the plus. This one And here I have a problem. Alright, that may do for now. So now they are maybe long enough to keep everything outside the board. Right. Looks a bit messy, perhaps it is. The motor still works. The minus plus. So those wires are connected. And now for the signal, because the big example is here from this switch through the orange wire to the board. So all I have to do here is exactly the same. Although I need to fix this transmission. And no clue how to do that. The problem of the signal can be easily solved because this wire is long enough to connect to the controller right away. So if I reposition the cam a bit, then I can put it to pin 10, and then I will have to program pin 10 to be the signal to interrupt the motors, which leaves actually the connection between the wheels. And one possibility could be this: when one wheel picks it up, it gets the other wheel. However, this already shows that there's a problem. It may not work because of the gravity, but let's just release it from the gear, see if this works. If this may work. No, it will not work, as you can see. Let me push it through a little bit. In here, it's the same position, and here you already see there is direct failure, so this idea won't work. So then what will work? Still going back to the rope, but that is not really an option either. Since it runs off the wheels, I have tried a solution that it will be guided, but the guidances fell out. So that is still a problem how to solve it. And I'm now not quite sure it will be that easy. Unfortunately, I can't use change for now. I would have loved to, because that would make everything a lot easier. But for now I can do some programming and do the switch by hand. So let me connect things anyway. that is a motor. Well, the motor won't work, but everything else actually is connected, or should be connected anyway. Motor runs, and I have to program for pin 10. So let's do something with that. So now we have to do an analog in pin, or will we have an analog out pin? Analog out pin for pin 10. Well, we can use this one. On the other hand, this is analog out pin 9, and 9 is not used either, so a simple correction in the hardware. 10 becomes 9. And I just have to say okay, but it becomes an in pin. So this is input for motor interruption. And I will have to read it because it is, by the way, is it an in pin? Or is it digital in? That's a very good question. Because what I'm using for the other switch is right now 12. Where is 12? It's not here. Pin mode 12 input. Right. That's a good one. Out it goes. Pin mode 12. Pin mode 9 is now output. Goes to input. And digital read. Will be 9. But then I'll have to say sensor value dig 9, which I will have to declare sensor value dig and read from switch. Yes, this one as well. Digital dig 9. So now we have things done, declared, and I can say right. I can put it of course into the serial monitor, actually both lines. So this is input 9 and this is input 9, and then yes, this is better. Alright, and then I'll have to do something with it, and it will be an interruption to the motor somehow. interruption to for motor with propeller, and that will be for next time. So for now, thank you for watching this experiment where I fixed an LED by replacing it, and then loose motor enhancing it by some gears and wheels, and I still have to find out the way of transmission for it by lack of chain, or I have to remove a chain from my old Mirv 1 model. Could be doing that, not quite sure, but at least it's an idea, and it can be a very nice thing. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet and like this video, please do subscribe to my channel. If you like my videos, please consider to make a small donation. Please see info on my website. And this experiment is for sure to be continued. Bye bye.